You were listening to a Nerd Room podcast, a member of the Star Wars Commonwealth Podcast Network. Be sure to check out more from the Star Wars Commonwealth on the web at starwarscommonwealth.com and take your first steps into a larger world. Hey everyone, and welcome to the Nerd Room, where we talk all things comics and movies. This is episode number 57, where we're discussing all of the recent news from the comic book, film, and TV world. I'm your host, Tim.
I'm Troy.
And back by unpopular demand, it's Sunjay.
I always love your intros, man.
I spent the whole day thinking about this one.
Yeah, just back and forth. What should I do? What should I do?
I was kind of nervous. My palms are sweaty. My knees are weak. My arms are heavy.
How's your guys' week's been?
As you can tell, I've been pretty good.
It's been a good week, man. I've smashed a lot of comics. I've gone through quite a bit, so I feel good. I feel like I'm back at myself, back my own body now.
Yeah?
Reading these comics.
You had a big run there a couple weeks ago.
Huge run. Actually, I didn't even finish all of it. I still got a couple of Old Man Logan issues to go through.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it feels good to be back and reading these things, man.
Nice.
Yeah, I agree. I'm back into it as well. I've found myself in the depths of Star Wars and back into Marvel and actually enjoying a few of the series here.
Nice.
Wow.
But this week we're going to do kind of a news roundup. We've missed quite a bit of news over the last couple of weeks because we've been doing our top most anticipated films and the wrap up for the end of the year and all the Rogue One talk. So there's a lot of comic book, movie, and TV news that we need to get to here. So we're going to spend the entire episode kind of running through that, going through some of our favorite comic books from the last little while and doing our comic book of the week, the Nerd Room comic book of the week, and getting through a lot of the recent TV and movie news from the DC, Marvel, and Star Wars universe.
You know, speaking of Star Wars, a big first for me in the Sunjay household. My first Star Wars non-movie memorabilia pickup.
That's right. I saw it on Twitter. You got to follow this guy.
Yeah, so I snagged it at Walmart. So I was there, and they're promoting the new Rogue One and The Force Awakens 3D. So they have this display stand, and it has this really cool topper on it. It's like this cardboard with kind of like the Rogue One scene where it has like all the island plants and those TIE fighters flying by.
Look at you go.
Yeah.
Got that vocabulary going on now with Star Wars.
I know. This is what
Jeez.
happens. I hang around you guys. It's kind of like the common cold. I caught it. But yeah, so no, I'm a big fan of those cardboard toppers. They always put them out for promoting movies. So I have the Batman v Superman, and now I have the Rogue One. So hope to continue on. If Walmart can give them to me for free, I'll keep taking them.
I'm thoroughly jealous. How did you actually get that? Because I've gone in before and asked for Force Awakens one, the whole big display with BB-8 and all that. They're like, sure, you can have it. Just come back in a week or so. I come back in a week and it was in the bin. Like they'd gotten rid of it.
Well, I went to customer service and the guy's like, well, you got to ask electronics department. So I go to electronics, and then I'm just like, hey, I talked to customer service. They said I can have this if you have any objections. And they kind of looked at me stunned. They're like, the whole thing? And I'm like, no, just the topper. And they're like, yeah, go for it. Like, we're just going to throw it out, so no one's going to miss it.
Yeah, I don't know why they just don't like put those somewhere and auction them off.
Yeah, it'd be
like, just
brilliant.
to put all the money towards charity. Because like,
Yeah.
you definitely get people coming in and buying them because they're really cool displays. Like,
Absolutely.
It's the things that all the Blu-rays and all that go on. And yeah, I would love to have that. The action figure displays, even the big signs above and all that. Like, they're really cool and really well done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was thinking, it'd be really cool to have the display, and then I could put all, 9 Star Wars movies on there now? Like, it'd be really cool to have that, because it looks like a store. I mean, yeah, they should definitely do that.
Yeah.
Walmart, Toys R Us, Best Buy, if you're listening,
Get on it.
Hook it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll be the auctioneers.
Yeah. So let's jump into some comic book news. And I'm not a DC reader, as everyone
Whoa,
knows
you're
here.
not?
No.
Shocking.
But I did see a recent news article that said Superman's costume is back. And I have no idea what this means. He seems to be floating around here in the image I've got here in front of me in his normal super gear without the red underoos. But can you guys enlighten me a bit of what this new costume is? Because I thought he was in jeans and a t-shirt in the new Rebirth.
That was New 52. He started
it?
off. Yeah, New 52 he started off. I think it was in Action Comics. Action Comics, he had the blue t-shirt going on, the farm boy look.
Yeah.
But then when you go to Superman New 52, he was in like the armored kind of Kryptonian looking gear.
Yeah.
So what's this about then?
So basically, he gets red boots. That's pretty much the only thing different.
Yeah. This is the original Clark before New 52. Right. So
okay. So this is like the pre-52,
the pre-New
because
52,
the
original.
52 is dead, right?
Exactly.
I did read that issue where he kind of crumbled into nothing.
Exactly.
Well, there still is a Clark Kent running around, and they haven't really solved that.
Yeah,
so I think
true.
they're coming up with some crossover issues that's coming up to really put that to bed. But
yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's kind of interesting. I was reading Action Comics, and Superman's talking to his son, and he's saying like, oh, the red underwear was just for decoration, and then I wore the black suit because I was working in the shadows and I wanted to be not seen, and I think that's kind of cool.
So retconning a bit of the old armor, the old suits and that.
I don't really like it, actually, to be honest, just because I'm not a fan of like iconic heroes like a Superman, a Batman, or Spider-Man changing their gear so often. Like, we just got a costume design from Rebirth not that long ago. So for them to switch the costume already shows they didn't have faith in the original costume in the first place.
Yeah.
But I do like that he has red boots, because it bothered me before the last costume. It was just too much blue going on.
Yeah.
Because this Superman goes by Clark White. So he also had the black costume going on too, like you mentioned, which was like kind of similar to the one that he had when he had the mullet way back in
I love the mullet.
The Return of Superman. Yeah. But no, this costume is great. I just don't like the belt, to be honest. The only thing I don't find that nice is the belt. The yellow and the red doesn't work for me, where that yellow sits.
Yeah.
Because you kind of have like a Wonder Woman looking kind of W going on with that belt, and then you have the yellow. But just nitpicking, but it's fine. It looks like Superman.
Yeah.
Right?
Do you guys know why he originally wore the red underwear?
Wasn't it to do with like the strongmen, like back in the days, inspired by like the strongmen?
Yeah,
from the
Siegel
circus?
and Schuster were big fans of the circus strongmen, so that's why they put it on to keep with that look. So
Interesting.
I think they should go back to it. It's so iconic. If you like, if Spider-Man has a different costume, or Captain America, like Superman is the first superhero, and that costume lasted for 75 years or however long, and I don't know. I mean,
it just doesn't fit in the modern era.
No, it really doesn't.
I don't know. I think it still does. I think it still holds that like gravitas, that weight. Like, it doesn't fit in the movies. They've already explained away the red underwear. If he were to come out, like if Henry Cavill comes out in Justice League and he's wearing red underwear,
he just wears it underneath the costume.
Yeah.
No, I think it could be kind of weird. I mean, Batman, same thing, right? He used to have the trunks over his suit, but now we've grown to like his costume the way it is.
Yeah.
I don't think you really need the black trunks or the red trunks in this case, but I see what you mean. It is classic, but I think at the same time, pre-New 52, that was the problem with DC's. They were very set in their ways. It wasn't very modern, whereas you had the Ultimate Universe and the Marvel 616 universe that was adapting to the times. So I think Superman, it's the right step in the right direction, I guess, basically.
Does anyone still wear underwear? Of all the superheroes, is there any that are still like underwear on the outside?
I don't think so. I think it's very passe now. Like,
Yeah.
it's not of the time.
Yeah, I don't think Sentry. I think Sentry just had a big belt, eh?
No, he did have the big underoos.
He did,
yeah,
right,
I
okay.
think so.
Okay.
Yeah, because that was just carbon copy of
A Superman.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
He's gone by the wayside.
Yeah.
So, speaking about Marvel Comics here a little bit, I am a big fan of digital, and I know you guys don't particularly dive into the digital end of comic books. I really like the idea of getting a physical copy and also a digital copy that I can put into a collection and read while I'm on vacation or read while I'm on my commute and I don't have to get out the physical copy. I'm still a collector at heart. I love having the stacks of comics in the long boxes, something I can pull out and flip through and look at. But what Marvel's doing now is they're changing how they've done their digital comics. So since 2011, more or less when I got into heavy comic book reading, Marvel comic books have always come with a free digital copy. And that's almost to justify this $3.99 price tag that they went across the board at one point. Because DC, I don't know, they're still doing $2.99 books?
$2.99 except for events, or All-Star Batman is $4.99.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that one's up there.
Yeah.
So that justification, I could always see that and justify that in my head because I was getting this digital copy. But what they're doing now, starting February 2017, so within a couple weeks here, is those codes are going away. And what you're still getting a digital code, but it's not going to be for the book that you buy. It's going to be for 3 different books, and it's going to change every week, and it's going to be promoting either an event or a different comic book. So the first 3 digital copies you're going to get is Civil War number 0, which was a free comic book day, I believe. Wolverine number 66, so the first issue of Old Man Logan, and the Captain Marvel number 1 issue.
Whoa. So across the board, no matter if you buy a Thor, an Iron Man, a Hulk, you'll still get just 3 books.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be specific books have those 3, but those are the only 3, and they're going to change week to week. So whatever book you get that has a digital copy with it, you only get those 3 books that they've selected from their broad spanning library of books.
Okay.
Yes.
So it seems to be a way that they're trying to promote their trade paperbacks. And there was a release from one of the VPs that says we're trying to kind of drive people back into the comic book shops to buy the physical copies. But I think this might have the opposite effect of that. It may drive people towards digital.
Yeah.
Or drive people totally away from the comic book industry. Like I don't think you're ever going to get away from physical copies, but you're going to see that really dwindle here because they're asking people to choose one or the other.
Yeah.
And they're choosing convenience over going to a shop. Like, I still enjoy going to the shop, and I'm still always going to do that, but I'm at a real crossroads here. I don't know what I'm going to do, because I do like having the digital copies, and I always thought, and I could always justify that $3.99 price tag because I was getting the digital copy that I could put into my library. Like, I do the same thing with movies.
Yeah.
I only buy movies with digital copies for that exact reason, so I can travel with them or whatever. But I don't know what to do here. Like, do you guys got any suggestions?
Yeah,
Switch to DC.
that's pretty bogus. So how much is it for a digital copy?
$3.99, same price.
Oh,
same
and it's
price.
also, it's $3.99 American, right? So
Yeah.
even the digital copy in the Canadian section of the app, you're still paying like $4.50.
That's
Right?
bogus. So if you
Wow.
want to double up on your Captain America number 6, you have to buy it essentially twice.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
That's horrible.
You travel a lot, right? So, I mean, not all the time you can pull out your physical book. I don't know if you might make the switch to 100%
I
digital.
really don't know, because that's when I get a lot of my heavy reading done, is when I'm sometimes doing my commute. I'll take a week off, listen to podcasts or books or whatever, and just read comic books. And when I'm traveling, I'm going traveling tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I had planned on taking, or I do plan on taking, a good chunk of my library that I'm backlogged on and reading those on the airplane. But going forward, I'm not going to have that opportunity to do that. And I just don't know what I'm going to do.
Especially if you want to go back and just reread an issue.
Yeah, because I
Yeah.
don't like opening up the
The
board
crates,
bags.
yeah.
right?
Yeah, I agree.
Like, I like picking them up and looking at them, but taking the tape off the back often
know.
wrecks.
It's painful.
Yeah.
So, like, it's really weird. And there is a petition out there right now that people are signing to try to get Marvel to revert back to what they're doing currently with their digital copies. Because I just think it's completely bogus. Like, it really, really bothers me to the core that they're actually doing this for whatever reason. Like, there doesn't seem to be a solid reason behind it.
No, I always liked what they did too. I thought that's kind of a step up above DC. Because I mean, Sunjay, you would know more so than me, but how's DC with it? Their digital copies.
They don't have any digital
They're pretty
copies.
behind.
Yeah, they don't. You either have the physical at $2.99 or the digital, I assume, at $2.99.
Exactly.
But yeah, I just never been a digital guy. I've just been a regular
Same.
physical copy kind of guy, and
Right.
I think I'll always be. I mean, digital has its purpose, I guess. I'm starting to dabble a little bit more into it, but I'll always be the paperback reader. So I don't know. I mean, it's tough to say. I mean, does Star Wars, is this the same for Star Wars? Or?
Across the board,
Would
Marvel.
be for Marvel, yeah. See, and something like this wouldn't really persuade me to get into digital now. Like, this would kind of steer me away from it, right?
Yeah. See, where I'm going the opposite direction, because
Yeah.
I'm a fan of it. So
Right.
I'm a collector at heart, so I think that I'm always going to stick with the physical copies.
Yeah.
But I'm just not going to have that ability to keep up with as many series. So I'm either going to have to pull back or end up with stacks of comic books.
Or you can get the trades.
Yeah, see, I'm not a big fan of trades when I can get the
okay.
physical. Like, I like
Yeah.
collecting individual issues. Even going back to old series,
Oh,
Yeah.
old
okay.
runs, I like getting the individual issues over
really?
getting the trade
Oh,
paperbacks.
interesting,
Okay.
yeah.
Like, if I can get a trade paperback for really cheap, say for
Yeah.
Civil War, like I have the trade paperback for Civil War, but I also have the whole series in single issue.
Wow.
Like
Yeah.
for the original Civil War.
Oh, okay.
And
Yeah.
so that's one of my collections amongst the many collections.
Yeah.
that I have.
Yeah. Yeah.
But again, I like that aspect of it. And so trades is another option, is physical copy and trades. But so it's really weird. Like, I'm really, really like heartbroken over this. Like, it really bothers me.
You might have to go to like the flea markets or the comic shows to pick up some of these issues like cheaper.
Yeah, well, you can do that with the comic book shows, right? Like, they do end up sometimes having the backlogs, but you can't get those key issues. Like, you can't get the big issues. You can't get
No.
event issues. So it's hard to do that. You can do that, and I have done that in the past, where you go to comic book shows and the sellers have gone to comic book shops and bought their overstock, right?
Yeah.
So when you end up with, 400 Avenger number ones at a single comic book shop,
Yeah.
and they only sell 200, they buy them at a discount and sell them at a price for $1.50.
Right.
But you
Right.
can't count on that to get your stacks,
No,
right? Especially the Star Wars. You never see them go
true.
under retail in these bargain bins.
The trades display well, though.
They
That's
do
one
display
bonus.
really
That's one
well.
bonus with
Yeah.
Trades, yeah.
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 So,
That's unfortunate.
yes, and while we're talking about comic books here, let's lay down our comic book picks of the week. I'm a little disheartened with Marvel, so I'm going to let you run down your first comic book pick of the week, Sunjay.
All right, we need like a theme song of this, like comic book pick of the week.
Pick of the week.
Yeah, pick of the week. Trademark Tim and Sunjay and Troy. All right, my comic book pick of the week: Wonder Woman Rebirth number 14.
Nice.
So great issue. Wonder Woman Rebirth has done something different. They've run 2 different stories congruently. So every even issue has been the Wonder Woman Year 1, and every odd issue has been a brand new story. So this is the finale of the Year 1 issue, or the Year 1 story arc, sorry. It's been great. Good writing. I really loved reading this. The MVP was definitely the art. There's about 3 or 4 splash pages that are just amazing that you have to check out. If you're going to see the movie, This is a retelling of her origin. I highly recommend you check it out. And those splash pages of issue 14, there's about 3 or 4 of them where I just stared at it for 5 minutes. I'm like, wow, this is amazing art. Like, whoever drew this needs a raise and needs to do like all DC comic books, because it was fantastic.
That's awesome. I love that idea how they do an issue, basically like a year one, and they go back to current time, as opposed to making you fork out more money to buy like another issue, right? That's awesome.
Yeah, so not splitting up the comic books into 2 different books.
That's great.
Yeah, it's similar to what Star Wars is kind of doing, right? Where they're telling other stories within that larger Star Wars book.
That's right.
So it's all encompassing stories. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it's good because they come out every 2 weeks, so it's not like you have to wait 2 months for like the next storyline. So it comes out once a month each storyline, so it's just like regular how it used to be. So
does the like the year one, does it kind of change the course of the New 52's retelling? Because remember they had the little arc where they told her like origin story too.
Yeah, they changed it a bit.
Okay.
Definitely it's different than the New 52 version, but some stuff's the same, some stuff's different. Ares makes an appearance.
Nice.
So
the old man Ares?
No. This is back to the godlike Ares.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah,
cool.
It's different art than the New 52. So check it out if you've ever been a fan of Wonder Woman, or if you're thinking of getting into Wonder Woman. You know, her comic books have just blown me away. She's now up there with Batman, Superman, Aquaman for favorite comic book hero.
Nice.
Yeah, so she's been killing it in the comics, and hopefully she kills it in the movies.
Yeah, I really liked her New 52 run, so I'll have to check that out.
Oh, that's my favorite New 52 comic.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Troy, what do you got for your comic book pick of the week?
Pick of the week, keeping it DC too.
Ooh,
Nightwing.
pick of the week.
Yeah, Nightwing number 10, written by Tim Seeley and art by Marcus 2. The art is fantastic. That's what sold me for this issue. It's Nightwing. He's back in his roots, actually, which is cool because the Nightwing Rebirth, it was kind of still amongst the New 52 where he's like an agent, but he's back in his Nightwing gear, whereas now like he's gone back to Bloodhaven, which he's never done so far in the DC universe, so that's really cool. And it's like him discovering Bloodhaven, but him discovering himself. He really feels like the Nightwing before the New 52. So it's just a great issue. I like what they've done. He's like a cooler Peter Parker, which I've always been fascinated by his character, because he's like a cool guy, but he's acrobatic, but he's Batman at the same time. So with more fun. So yeah, go check out this issue number 10. I'm actually up to issue 13 right now as well. I think it's like a 4-part story arc, so go check it out.
So they've been promoting this in the back or in the middle of the Rebirth books, and it's like really cool. Bloodhaven kind of looks like that Blade Runner, kind of like the neon noir.
Yeah, Batman Beyond like a little too. Yeah.
So can I just jump in at number 10 and start from there, or do I have to go back?
Yeah, you really can. I actually feel like issue 10 should have been issue 1 of Rebirth.
Oh, okay.
Like you could totally skip the other stuff, because they do kind of mention what happened leading up to this, but again, it's him being a superhero again, as opposed to being like this double agent spy, which I wasn't really the biggest fan of. This is like Nightwing back to his roots. So
nice.
Yeah.
I really love the New 52 Nightwing, especially Death of the Family.
Oh, see, that stuff's great. It's cool up until he becomes an agent of Spiral.
Yeah.
That's when I kind of didn't really like it.
Yeah. Yeah, I used to pick it up, and maybe I'll pick it up again. So
and like I said, the art, Marcus 2, this guy is fantastic.
Awesome.
Intrigued.
Yeah. Nice.
Thank you very much.
So, Tim, what are the chances of you picking up a DC book? You know, come to the dark side. You have a lot of angst with Marvel lately.
I do.
Stan Lee will forgive you. He came to DC and wrote some books for us, so come on.
I'm still teetering on the edge here. I might check some of these out. I'll go a little bit deeper into our compo picks of the week for the next couple of weeks and just see what you guys produce, and if I'm intrigued. There's a TV show I want to talk about on the DC side that has got me thoroughly interested in their cinematic TV universe.
Krypton, right?
Yeah. But for my pick of the week this week, I'm sticking with Marvel, and I'm going to the Captain America Steve Rogers number 7
Your boy.
issue.
Oh,
I've been raving about the series for the last couple of weeks, and this issue in itself is incredible. I absolutely love this story arc here with Steve Rogers as a Hydra agent. It's a lot different than I thought it was going to be. It's not him as like a Hydra crony just going out and doing whatever the Red Skull says.
Yeah.
They're retelling a lot of his origin, and it's eventually going to be fixed. Like, they're going to go revert back, I would assume.
Of course.
But the way they're doing it, and I'm really looking forward to the eventuality of him turning into Captain America and going through joining the Avengers and the events of the war and how we're going to integrate that all. It's a really cool twist on one of Marvel's oldest stories.
Right.
And I thought I was going to hate it, but it's awesome. This issue number 7, it's tagged with a number 1 to, I guess it's telling you that it's a new story arc, but I'd have to say go back to the start and read from 1 forward.
Right.
Because you need that backing of what's going on. You almost need Avengers standoff as well to really understand what's going on in this comic book.
Yeah.
It's kind of ingrained in that story arc, what's happening with Steve Rogers in this book, but it's an awesome storyline. don't be afraid of the fact that Steve Rogers is an agent of Hydra now, and it's something completely different. Like, I know they've changed a lot of the status quo in Marvel recently, but this really benefits from that. It's a really cool take on a character that could become stale over time. I find that every so often they go through this Captain America renaissance where they have a writer that does something completely different. This was like what they did with the Bucky, the Winter Soldier storyline, right? They picked up, they did something completely different. They rewrote a history for a character, and they're doing the same thing here. Like, I know they're going to revert back, but at the same time, I'm really enjoying what they're doing. So my pick of the week is Steve Rogers, number 7.
Nice. Are you all caught up with this series now?
Yeah.
So he plans on basically overtaking Red Skull now, right? Like, he wants to run Hydra for himself.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
And you can
cool.
see that there's some altruistic nature of Steve Rogers still in there. Like, he's not just this evil dude. Like, he's not like a villain. He seems to be almost an anti-hero. Like, he has these values of Hydra ingrained in him, but he's not taking them like the Nazi type, like, you want to kill everyone. It's more about making the world a better place. And I'm sure we'll get down a path where he has to make a choice, and this is maybe what reverts him back or something to that effect.
Maybe Miles Morales, because we are going to get that fight, I guess, right?
Yeah, so they do tease the events through this whole book of what's going on in Civil War, what he's doing in the background, and something bigger with Miles Morales. That scene that we did see in Civil War isn't necessarily what was going to happen right then and there. It's more what's going to happen down the future.
Down the road. Oh, I love that.
So there's a lot of cool stuff going on in that comic book.
Yeah.
And with that, even, there's been this tease from Marvel for this next event they're going to. This Monsters Unleashed comes out this week. It drops, so it's going to be interesting to see.
Yep.
But coming out in the spring, I believe, is this new event that they're calling Secret Empire.
Ooh.
That's Captain America's
That's
event.
Captain America centric, or at least we think it's Captain America centric, because it has the shield there and the logo. But they released all these cryptic slogans for the event. The Secret Empire will amaze you. The Secret Empire will avenge you. It will champion you. It will defend you. It will guard you. We live in exciting times. So it's pointing in the direction that this is going to be a much larger crossover event between Amazing Spider-Man, the Guardians of the Galaxy, the Champions, Avengers, and all this. So I'm really interested to see what they're going to do here. I feel like this is going to be the culmination of this Steve Rogers Hydra arc. And we're going to have whatever Secret Empire is going to come out of whatever he forms post-Hydra or post-Red Skull.
Right.
So I'm thoroughly interested by this. Like, I know I've said here the last couple of weeks that I hate events, or not hate events, but that I'm a bit event fatigued.
Yeah.
But this has got me intrigued because of it's a Steve Rogers centric storyline. I think it's going to get towards the end of this Steve Rogers arc, because the Secret Empire is actually one of these offshoots of Hydra from way back when. So there is some history with the Secret Empire type sect of Hydra,
right?
So it might tie in a bit of that, and they have a leader called the Number One, and so it might integrate some of that. So I'm a bit curious if they'll go back and tie in that Steve Rogers starts his offshoot called the Secret Empire, and he brings in whomever and creates almost like his own Hydra-esque type empire, right? Yeah.
Is this common? Does Captain America often get his own event every year, or is this a new thing for Captain America again?
It's new-ish. Like, he does have event or crossovers, I would more say, less than events, where you do see there's some Winter Soldier stuff from the past, and you do see him heavily involved in a lot of the Avengers stuff. Like, Standoff, he's quite heavily involved in, and a lot of his book, or the Steve Rogers book, actually spun out of that.
Right.
So you do see him
Civil War,
involved.
he's pretty heavily involved in.
Yeah, so he seems to be one of the pivotal characters in a lot of these big events, but having a Steve Rogers-centric event is something new, different, and I'm kind of looking forward to it, actually.
Nice. Do you know how well the Captain America comic book sells now? Like, is it like up there, top 10? You know, you always see those lists, top 10. And...
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so. Like, if I'm going to peg a couple big comic books at more right now, you got a lot of the event stuff. The Miles Morales and Spider-Man stuff's pretty big. The Iron Man stuff's pretty big. But because they go through these ebbs and flows of Number One so often, these peaks and valleys with putting out books, it's hard to get a gauge on individual books because they never last that long, right?
Yeah.
So the longevity of a book, by the time you get to issue 10, that's maybe when a lot of the numbers have dropped off, or at least it's plateaued at, say, 50 to 30,000 copies sold per release.
Yeah.
Whereas Number Ones and Twos always peak out at like 100,000, right? Or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's hard to gauge on that. I don't really look that much at the statistics of comic book sales, though.
Okay, yeah, I've kind of looked. I've been interested to see the last couple months. I have no idea how it's doing, but I was just curious. Yeah, because you always see like the tops are always the Batmans, the Spider-Mans,
Deadpool now. I think.
Deadpool, yeah. He's been
a lot of the recent like Gwenpool and like all these characters too.
Walking Dead.
Yeah.
That's right.
So.
Yeah.
let's jump into some TV and film news here.
Woo!
So we're going to start off with Star Wars, our favorite, everyone's favorite. Sunjay, he's got it. He's got it.
Dun, 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 dun. Star Wars.
Someday I'm going to buy you a Funko Pop, a little bit of Black Series, get you deep.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Okay, I'll start, reading some Star Wars comics and getting some Funkos as soon as you start getting some DC Funkos and some DC
I have a Batman Funko in here somewhere.
Somewhere around here.
It's an urban legend.
It's in a box somewhere. I swear. But last week we talked about Woody Harrelson for a role in Han Solo, and there was speculation that he was close to signing a deal, and he did confirm, and Disney did confirm as Lucasfilm, that he is in fact signed on to be a part of the Han Solo film. We speculated last week a bit about who he could be, whether he's going to be the villain. He did confirm that he was going to be a mentor of sorts and also a criminal. So it's interesting. It's starting to see this idea of where Han Solo is going to learn his smuggling ways, his pirating ways from. And I expressed a little bit of doubt in Woody Harrelson because I don't think I can see anything but Woody Harrelson in this role. But one of the members from the Star Wars Commonwealth ads, he did point out and made a comparison to Hondo.
Right.
And that kind of got me intrigued, got me a little bit more on board. I'm not sure if that's who he's going to be portraying. I think it's going to be either a completely new character or a take on an old Han Solo Legends character. But I don't know. I'm a little more on board than I was last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard actually, I think when he signed the deal, I think he did mention there's no makeup. There's no makeup behind this character, so I guess the Hondu's ruled out. But that would have been cool. But I was kind of thinking, I mean, I doubt it's going to be possible, but Dash Rendar, if we could get this character to play Dash Rendar and he would be the mentor figure for Han Solo, I mean, you'd have to change the character a little bit, but that'd be a cool one to bring him in because Dash Rendar was kind of similar to Han Solo in the Legends there. Actually, he's a little cooler in my opinion. I think a must-see is Jabba, though. I think you got to see Jabba in this movie. Have to. We haven't seen him since Attack of the Clones, because he was in Revenge of the Sith, so we haven't seen Jabba in some
Was he in
time.
Attack of the Clones or wasn't it Phantom Menace?
I know he's in Phantom Menace, but I think he's in Attack. Oh no, yeah, I guess it was just Phantom Menace.
Yeah, he stands up on where they're before the pod races.
Yeah, see, I got that scene mixed up with Geonosis.
Yeah,
you're right. Yeah, so we haven't seen him for years.
Yeah.
So I think it makes sense to see this guy in a Han Solo film. Jabba.
Yeah.
Jabba the Hutt?
Jabba the Hutt, for sure. He'll probably be slim, too, because he's pretty slim in A New Hope.
What?
Yeah, he's really slim.
You know who Jabba the Hutt is.
He's that guy, like on your poster.
Yeah.
The big fat guy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and he's slim?
Yeah, if you go back to A New Hope, the original New Hope, he's actually just a human with like some furry.
Yeah, well, that scene was not in the original New Hope. That was a scene they put back in the special editions. That was filmed with the idea that they were going to replace the human figure with some sort of
So when you watch A New
animation
Hope,
or whatever.
what happens with that scene? He's not there.
So that original scene isn't there.
Oh,
It skips from whatever scenes before it, I can't remember.
Oh, so you never actually see Jabba in that.
No, skips from the bar to them getting on the ship or whatever. So there's no interaction there. So they added that back in with the special editions.
But we see that in the special editions.
Yeah, so they filmed it and they replaced the human with the Jabba figure, right? So that actor isn't actually in there.
Oh, because that's what I wondered. Like, how is he human in episode 4 and then he's huge?
I was so confused. I was like, what's going on here?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So they did that little creative scene too, because Han Solo walks behind him, but they're like, well, we have to make him step on his tail, and they animate him to react to that. So cool.
the first appearance of Jabba is in '83 with Return of the Jedi,
right?
And then they went back in '97 or whatever,
smaller,
and made him into, and they've updated that animation recently too, so it looks pretty crappy, the first iteration of it, but it gets better and better as you go along.
Yeah,
and
that's right.
It's a weird scene because Greedo's kind of in the background, but he's actually dead.
Yeah.
So it's weird. But do you think we're going to see Boba Fett pop up in this movie?
I think so. It's hard to say. I mean, maybe if they're still trying to get this Boba Fett movie on, then maybe they will put him in there and see how people react to him, and then like, okay, this guy's a hit. Let's make a movie. Maybe not. I'd actually rather not see Boba Fett though in this movie. Jabba I'm down with. Dash Rendar obviously I'm down with, but I'd rather not see Boba. I'm just not the biggest Boba Fett guy though.
Well, they can go really two ways with this Han Solo movie. They can tell and fill in a lot of the gaps of the Han Solo story, like the life debt with Chewie, his issues with Jabba, and all these type of stories, or they can do something completely original and nod at a few of those things. Like, it's either focus in on what we're trying to backfill, like they did with Rogue One, like we have a specific story that we know exists and we have an end game here, or they can just fill those in and nod. I'm much more of the let's nod at the wider universe, what's happened in the past, or what's happened actually in the future, and that's not at it in the past, because I think there's a lot you can do here, and because it's rumored to have been set 10 years before A New Hope, there's room there for multiple movies.
10 years. Wow. Yeah.
Wow.
So would you like to see more movies in this universe then for a Han Solo film?
I don't know. Let's see how the first one goes. And I think if it's a lot of fun, and if, again, it comes down to this idea that it's a completely different movie. Empire's not the main antagonist. And if they can throw in some of these characters, they can develop a bit of Han. And I like the idea of Donald Glover playing Lando.
I love that.
And Woody Harrelson, I'm a bit more on board with. Still not fully there. But I think there's a lot they can do in this universe without having the Empire as the main antagonist. Like, they can really grow this universe. They can have Han Solo going to different planets.
Space pirates.
Yeah, you can throw in guys like IG-88 or Bosk or whatever, people that he can interact with on a smuggler's level. And it could be a lot of fun. Could be a lot of fun to explore different avenues of the Star Wars universe, the seedy part, the corners, the bars, and all that. Like, I think that could be a lot of fun.
That's true. And I guess you could get Boba Fett before he's even wearing like the Mandalorian armor.
Yeah.
Right? So, yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. And speaking of cameos in the Han Solo movie, the actor Diego Luna, who plays Cassian Andor in Rogue One, he was asked at the Golden Globes last week, or whenever they were, about him potentially appearing in the Han Solo movie. And he was very cagey with his answer. What are your thoughts about a Rogue One characters appearing in a Han Solo movie? Again, taking place somewhere between, let's say, 5 and 10 years before Rogue One.
I would say I'd love to see Chirrut, obviously. But then that would take away a little bit from the Han Solo film, because then you're kind of walking more into that Jedi Guardians of the Will path, and you're kind of taken away from the smaller scale movie, right? But I don't know. Cassian would be cool, but I think he's like an informant too, right? So he'd probably be, again, very heavily involved with the Imperials. Yeah. So it just depends where they want to take this story.
Yeah, out of any character from that film, I think he makes the most sense. Like, he's the guy that's in the background, in the gray area, in the seedy bars, trying to find information. He'd be quite a bit younger. Yeah. I really don't know when this movie's going to be set, but I think out of any character, he's the most appropriate. But I think it's fine to leave them and not really nod at every single aspect in the universe. I think there's a lot of Han Solo's story to tell. Yeah. And I think they should really focus in on that. Like, if they want to do cool cameos or have, like, a K2SO Imperial droid in the background or something to that effect.
Saw Gerrera, like, that guy's a crazy extreme
exactly.
Or something like that would be cool. Yeah.
So, because there's a lot of scenes even in Catalyst with the smugglers and that, where they have this band, this crew that gets together to run things, right?
Yeah, like, was it Otis? Or
Obit. Yeah.
That's somebody I'd love to see pop. Yeah. Oh, man. From that's Catalyst, what I want. Yeah.
So, it'd be cool to see a lot of these type of characters that you could organically put into the movie. I think Rebels is an appropriate area to have your Rogue One cameos. Yeah. Like, that makes the most sense.
Definitely.
And last thing with Star Wars here. So they put out a statement on their website. They're addressing some of the rumors and the speculation that was going around about Carrie Fisher's Princess Leia and what they were going to do. There's lots of rumors, and we speculated a bit last week, uncomfortably speculated, what they were going to do with the character in Episode 8 and Episode 9. There's rumors that the brain trust of Lucasfilm was going to meet to decide the future of Princess Leia and her character in the Star Wars universe going forward. And they put out a statement. It's an interesting statement, and it reads, "We don't normally respond to fan or press speculation, but there's rumors circulating that we'd like to address. We want to assure fans that Lucasfilm has no plans to digitally recreate Carrie Fisher's performance as Princess or General Leia Organa." And it's an interesting statement, and it's a very nice statement, I think, to put out to quash these rumors. Like, they're not ones to respond to any rumors. They like the speculation. They like to keep people guessing. Yeah. But they're very poignant in saying, look, guys, this is not happening. Out of respect for Carrie Fisher, we're putting out this statement. And I think it was a good move on Lucasfilm's part. But one thing it does do is, could it change the trajectory of her character? Because that was the thing we speculated on. I don't really want to get into this any more deeper, but like, that's something I think for the future, when this is all soaked in and we've had time to think about this, marinate on a little bit. And I think we'll come back to this discussion, but I just wanted to put out there that I think that it was a really good thing that Lucasfilm did, putting that out there, respecting potentially the wishes of her family to just put this to bed, put this to rest, and they'll address this further down the road. Of course, they have to deal with this directly, Lucasfilm, because of the movie coming out next December, but there's still quite a bit of time to work through some of these issues and work through some of the story arcs that could potentially lead us down the path of having a Leia story that is worthy of Carrie Fisher. Yeah.
No, I mean, I think it's the right move.
It's difficult to talk about. Like, it's still a little...
Speaking of Carrie Fisher, she's bringing in a personal experience. She came to the Calgary Comic and Entertainment Expo a number of years ago now. I don't even remember how long it was. And it was one of the first years I volunteered, and I was working in the back, and I just see her come in, and she's with her handlers that's with her, and she had this like presence about her that, at the time I was just getting into comics. I never saw a single Star Wars movie at the time, and I just recognized like the importance of this moment. Like, I just took a second and just be like, oh, that's that's Princess Leia. Like, even though I'd never seen Star Wars, I still knew, like, oh, that's Carrie Fisher, that's Princess Leia. And it was just a cool, surreal moment just to see her walk in. And she was super nice, super friendly, and just an excellent experience. I'm glad that I got to see her at the Comic Expo, and it's something that I'll be telling, like, my kids about and telling you guys about, because it was a pretty cool moment, and
very cool.
Something that I'll probably never forget, even though I had never even seen a Star Wars movie. So
yeah, it's nice to have that moment. It's something you can capture, right?
Yeah, it's true.
All right, guys, let's step over to DC film. My favorite topic always. Talking about the DC
weekly
cinematic
DC
universe.
segment.
Yeah. What is DC up to this week? This week's actually been a really good week, I think, for the DC cinematic universe.
It can't be much worse than the week before that.
Or the week before that one.
Yeah.
I quickly want to get your thoughts here, very briefly, because I know you could go on for days about this, about the Justice League photo. Troy and I discussed this last week, and we thought it was a miss.
Yes.
Do you think this was a hit?
I did, yeah. I thought it was pretty cool seeing them together, and they left out Superman, so I really thought that was kind of cool. Keep you guessing, how is he going to come back, or is he even going to come back?
Oh, he's coming back. We all know he's coming back.
But we don't know if he's going to be good or bad. He's not with the team.
Yeah.
So I thought it was pretty cool. Someone who's been reading the comic books for 5-6 years, I mean, I like it. I dug it. I could totally see how you think it was a miss, but I think it's just like they're not giving us too much right now. They're just whetting our appetite. This isn't like the Avengers shot where, they're in New York and they do the 360 cam.
That's what we wanted.
I know, but they haven't released the trailer yet. They're going to wait for the trailer. Give them time. They haven't. I mean, with Batman v Superman, what was the problem? They gave us too much. And now they're kind of pulling back a bit and like keeping you in suspense, keeping you hungry. You gotta remember, this movie's like 10, 11 months away. Like, it's still a long time away.
Yeah. They did put out a teaser for Infinity War like 4 years before they announced it.
Infinity War?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
They've got two teasers out for it. It's just a compilation of old scenes on that, because they do have the backlog, and they did that one scene with Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah.
But all I'm saying is it can be done.
We'll get into Infinity War later.
Yes, we will. But Wonder Woman, she, I think, was the biggest mystery in that photo. But they did confirm this week for her film, finally, we've speculated on this before, that Ares is in fact the main villain for this film.
Yeah, I think it's a good choice. I mean, she's kind of Wonder Woman's big bad. You could have went with Cheetah. That's kind of like her other arch nemesis, but I think Ares is a much better choice, especially because it's World War I, and it just fits so perfectly. And I'm kind of interested to see what kind of form we'll get of Ares. I mean, from the trailer, we've seen this human general, played by, I think, Danny Houston is his name?
Definitely Ares.
Oh, for sure. But, like, is that his final form? People are speculating online that he might actually turn into the godlike Ares you see in the comics.
That's
with, like,
what
I think you will get
the
that.
Spartan helmet, the horns, the mohawk. He kind of looks like 300.
As long as they go practical with it. If he goes into some crazy, massive, like, muscled up
Lizard,
CG looking dude,
that
cannot do this. Has to be grounded in whatever reality they're producing in that film.
See, I think they should go the Age of Ultron route, where he's kind of like the mocap, but he's bigger. Like, he's not like 6 feet, he's like 9 feet tall. Give him like this presence, like this is the god of war. Give him some like intimidation factor. The actor, he doesn't really intimidate me as much as like, in Age of Ultron, when you had the Ultron guy and the robot, and he's towering over Captain America, he's towering over Iron Man. Like, that's intimidating, and I think they should go that, but not the full Doomsday route where it's like full CGI.
That's all I can picture in my head right now. Seriously, is Doomsday in Ares form.
That would be a Doomsday scenario.
Or even the Injustice, the video game Injustice. Ares is handled well. He looks great in that. I'm a fan, again, going back to the New 52 Ares, when he's like the old man, but when you go back in time, you see how he used to handle things, handle his business. It's unfortunate because I really want Sean Bean to play Ares. I think he's the better actor, and I think he has the better fit, the better look for that character.
He definitely has that gravitas to him to be a Greek god.
Yeah.
Absolutely, right? Yeah.
I'm curious, what do you guys think the marketing's going to be for this film? Are we going to get like the BVS, like everything, t-shirts, action figures, comics, or are we going to get like the X-Men where it's just like a brief 1 or 2 things?
I think it's going to be much like the individualized movies from Marvel. So the Avengers, the big event movies, you get everything from Dr. Pepper to Doritos to like everything. It's plastered everywhere. But I think this is going to be much like the Captain America movies, where you have one tie-in, like you get a Pepsi tie-in or a cereal box tie-in or something to that effect. You probably won't see even much at the food shops or whatever. Like, there's not going to be, I don't think, that heavy presence of advertising, with the exception of probably you're going to get a few more comic book runs. You can get the t-shirts, of course. You can get the action figures and all that. They're going to be all across the aisles in Walmarts. But I think it's going to be pretty minimal.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's gonna be a big push. I think they need to.
think so?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for Wonder Woman, I think they really have to push. There's a lot riding on this one.
Yeah.
Especially because you have to think this movie has to do so well because it has to get everybody else's butts in the seats for Justice League.
Yeah.
So it's more than just getting people ready for Wonder Woman. It's getting people ready for the Justice League film. So I think you really got to go all out.
It just has to do well enough to get people encouraged and excited about that universe. Like I think that's all it has to do. I don't think it has to break the bank.
Yeah.
I don't think it has to produce massive amount of marketing and merchandising. It just has to do well for the general audience.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'd like to see a big push because, I mean, you look at this is the first female-led superhero film in like 10 years. The last one was like, what, Catwoman?
Elektra, maybe?
Elektra, yeah. So it's been a while. I mean, and you look at the Ghostbusters films, they didn't have a lot of marketing for that film, and that was a female-led movie. So I really want to see, you know, DC really push this hard because I think this has potential. I think the marketing alone could bring in like $100-200 million because this Wonder Woman's huge. She's the most iconic female superhero of all time.
Hands down. And look at the marketing team behind Deadpool.
Yeah.
Like that marketing saved that movie.
But that was guerrilla marketing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That was billboards. That was
Oh,
good
yeah.
TV
They went
spots.
hard.
They
Yeah.
integrated it into Valentine's Day,
Yeah.
into President. All the they really took a different approach to marketing. And maybe Wonder Woman needs to find their niche and do that because
They
Deadpool
do.
really hit at something different.
Yeah.
Like, if you do your Pepsi cans and you're just gonna, I think they need to play a bit to the fact that this is a female-led superhero movie and play to that a bit more. And she's a Greek goddess and all this aspect, but it's going to be hard to market something that spans 3 eras. Like you look
Exactly.
at, there was no marketing for the first Avenger, right? Nothing for the first Thor. Like you do get some tie-ins here and there, but very minimal marketing because these single movies need to be about producing good movies, good origin stories, and kicking off a franchise. They can't really be focused in on let's just splatter this everywhere. They got to get a good product out first.
Yeah. To you, that's the thing with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They're off to a great start. Whereas the DC Universe isn't in the best
Was it
hands.
really a great start? I mean, we'll get into this with the MCU, but Iron Man 1 was great, but the other 4 or 5 that came after it,
Admittedly, they did suffer from universe building, but the first one and the majority of these franchises were really well done.
Oh, yeah.
Like you do have that suffering from franchise building, and I think Wonder Woman, out of any film in the DC Cinematic Universe, will suffer the least from universe building because it's a bit offset like Captain America was, right?
Yeah,
you
totally.
can tell your own story in a different era and then just tie in at the end to the larger universe.
Yeah. So with Wonder Woman coming out, we all know Gal Gadot's pregnant, so they're actually doing a little bit of pre-press right now. So she's doing some interviews to promote the film, and then they'll air them in June. So they've already began promoting the film. So
Cool.
Nice.
yeah, a long lead time. So that could be a good thing, or I hope it's a good thing. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, she can't do press when I think she's like due around the time the film comes out. So it makes sense. So, you know, she's doing the interviews now, and we'll see him in June.
Speaking about long lead times, our boy The Rock, who I'm behind in every project that he produces.
If you smell what The Rock is cooking.
But our boy The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, was with the DC Brain Trust this past week talking Black Adam. He sent a picture out as Instagram, and he's talking about how fun and how charismatic this character is going to be. But this character isn't due out until 2020 or something, right?
2019.
2019?
Yeah.
They need to get Rock into a DC film now.
Yeah.
I think, okay, so 2018, here's my theory. Flash, no director yet. Who knows what's happening with that? Aquaman's scheduled to come out in October.
Well,
I think
Cyborg too. Cyborg's been like
Cyborg's 2020.
I've heard zero about that.
Yeah,
movie.
I've heard nothing about that. But I think Aquaman's going to take Flash's spot in April, and I think they're going to move Shazam up to October for next year.
They
They
need
gotta
to
speed
settle.
need
that
to.
up. They gotta speed that up.
Yeah, they
That's-
gotta get
Yeah.
Rock out there. He is at his peak right now.
He needs it. Like Fast and Furious. He like boomed that franchise, right?
When's Man of Steel 2 coming out?
Who knows?
Because that would be a cool thing to see Black Adam in there. I mean,
Yeah.
the little
Oh, that's
cameo
the
would be-
rumor, yeah, that
you could have
Superman-
him against Superman.
Yeah, they almost need to have him in another movie and then spin that off as some. Like, is Black Adam an anti-hero?
Yeah, Black Adam. So his origin story is, I think he was an Egyptian peasant, and then he got these like powers, kind of like Shazam, and he's been alive for like 1,000 or 2,000
His main
years.
squeeze was like Iris or something like that.
ISIS.
ISIS.
Yeah, so I think they'll change it for the movie.
Yes.
Yes, definitely. Maybe they'll
Isil.
change it to Iris.
Yeah. He's kind of like a Scorpion King character in a way.
Yeah.
Hopefully he's done a lot better than the Scorpion King
Yeah,
movie.
No CG.
Yeah. But who the heck's going to be Shazam? Like, that's the big question still.
I've heard a couple of actors.
Do they need a Shazam though? Can they not just do Black Adam?
I think they
You need a Shazam.
Yeah,
Sure.
you do.
Oh, for
I
sure.
Like I literally have no background, but I figure you put Rock into a film like that, you need to have him as the character, Like, he can't be playing second fiddle to a Shazam or whatever in a movie.
Unless you did do something where you go way back with Shazam and you explain his origin story where he was kind of started off as a good guy, right? You could kind of go that route, but there'd be no Batman, no Superman, there'd be none of those characters. It'd be him way back in the Egyptian times.
Oh, that's true. I want him to be kind of like Loki is in the MCU, where he pops up in the Thor movie and then he's kind of the big bad in Avengers.
Justice League 2 or whatever.
Yeah, have him like kind of defeat Shazam and defeat Superman at the end of Shazam, and then Justice League 2 is Black Adam and his Chitauri. Yeah.
Interesting. So, speaking about Chitauri, invasions, Green Lantern. I am killing the segues right now.
Loving it, Tim. Can we all say the Green Lantern oath? Do we all know it?
No.
In brightest day, in blackest night, no evil shall escape my sight. Let those who worship evil's light beware my power, Green Lantern's light.
Because the last movie was a fright.
Well, the comics have been awesome.
They have been, yes.
Well, they have a new writer for this film. David S. Goyer.
Yeah.
Writer of the Dark Knight trilogy. Man of Steel, I believe.
Ghost Rider.
So this guy's got some depth.
Yeah, I like
Can he bring that style of writing that he brought to the Dark Knight trilogy into Green Lantern? Like, is this the right guy, or should they go with someone different, someone new?
I think it depends on the director. If you look at some of his movies, like with The Dark Knight, he had Christopher Nolan, and Christopher Nolan and him wrote the script for The Dark Knight. And then he worked on Man of Steel, which was less well received, but I mean, we all love it here.
Produced by Christopher Nolan. So there's your commonality.
Yeah, so if Christopher Nolan's making Green Lantern, I'm 100% in. But they don't even need, they need someone that's good, that can do good sci-fi.
George Miller. Is it
George Miller?
George Miller did Mad Max, right?
Yeah, something like that would be really cool. I think it all depends on the director, but here's the thing. Jeff Johns wrote the story and the outline of the story, and he's probably the best Green Lantern writer ever. So,
but he worked on the last Green Lantern movie too, and that was the
learning pains here. It actually didn't perform too bad at the box office.
Yeah, but
it almost horrible
and almost killed Ryan Reynolds' career.
Yeah, it's true. But
it's good that they've got this at least moving forward. There seem to be kind of stop-start with some of these other projects. This one seems to be getting a bit more attention lately. Okay, it's not due out till 2020, but seem to be building this one up a bit more. I think they're thinking along the lines of Guardians. Like we've said this before.
Yeah.
This is the direction they should go with it. And it appears they're going to have more than one human Green Lantern. John Stewart and
Hal Jordan.
Yeah.
They have to have those two.
So that's pretty cool. They're going to go down that path. And there's been people campaigning for those roles. And I think this is another team that they need to get going sooner rather than later. Have a really small cameo in Justice League or something to that effect.
They have to. I think we mentioned this before, having one of those characters fall out from space and land.
Yeah.
And then the battle in Justice League. Boom.
He's just battle tested, and he's Dark Side's coming.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the way to go.
Who you're fan casting for the two Green Lantern roles?
I know Tyrese really wants to be John
Tyrese
Stewart.
really wants it, but I don't want him in there.
I want Idris Elba.
I want Idris, but it's not going to happen because he's tied with Marvel too, right?
But he can do it. I mean, the guy who did...
They need franchise guys. Idris Elba is he's going to be the next James Bond, man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Might be Tom Hiddleston, actually.
I heard Tom Hardy.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't want
with Christopher Nolan writing and directing.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I heard today. I don't know. I have zero sources.
Yeah.
So my prediction: Idris Elba for Jon Stewart, or maybe they'll take Jon Stewart as Jon Stewart. No, Idris Elba for Jon Stewart, and then Jim from The Office as Hal Jordan.
That guy's been screaming for a superhero role since they cast Captain America.
He was this close from being Captain America.
So he was really good in 13 Hours? With the Michael Bay movie about the Benghazi attack.
Oh, okay.
He's really good in that, and he's freaking jacked in that. He fits that archetype of a superhero character. I just still can't get past his portrayal of Jim in The Office. This goofy, slacker dude, right?
Yeah.
But he's really good in that film.
Oh, yeah.
I think if you wanted a more serious approach to Hal Jordan getting away from the last Green Lantern, you could go Armie Hammer from the Social Network.
Oh.
And the Lone Ranger. I think that would be kind of a cool fit, especially because he was meant to be Batman way back when they tried doing the young Justice League movie way back when they're doing the Nolan franchise. So I think Armie Hammer could be pretty cool, and he's at the right age.
Yeah.
To do it.
He liked the tweet that Jeff Johns put out, so you never know.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Just liking tweets, getting acting roles.
He's getting roles like that, eh?
Yeah.
Oh, he liked my tweet. You're in.
You get a job, and you get a job, and you get a job.
Speaking about new actors in Cinematic Universe, Marvel Infinity War is coming soon. Peter Dinklage is being rumored to have a role in Infinity War. And it's been lots of speculation. The first character that comes to mind for me, and I don't mean to do this, it's just his stature. He's a great actor and all that, but is Pip the Troll. So Pip the Troll is an ally of Adam Warlock, and he ties really well into the Infinity Gauntlet storyline. He's a crucial part of the Jim Starlin era Thanos stories. Like, even going back to Thanos vs. Hulk, which was a comic book run that they'd done more recently, he was in that. But who else do you think Peter Dinklage could be in Infinity War? Anyone?
I heard an idea thrown out on the interwebs, the Watcher.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Someone? Stan Lee.
That's what I've been hearing too, is the Stan Lee. Because he's been in every other Marvel cinematic universe outside of the studio.
Best fan theory
That's
ever.
pretty cool.
Yeah,
And I think we should just leave that, just honor that.
Yeah. Other than that, what if they bring him back as Bolivar Trask and bring the X-Men in?
Yeah, across those universes. Yeah.
Break the theaters. I don't know.
Yeah, I got nothing for this one. I really don't know.
So there's Puck, who was his original rumored character in the X-Men universe, part of Alpha Flight.
Oh, okay.
So he's a Canadian character, but again, that plays into his stature. Like, when he was first cast in X-Men Days of Future Past, everyone played out to the idea that because of his stature and that he's going to be playing Puck or some character like that, and he ended up playing Bolivar Trask. Right. So they could be doing something sideways in this again, because Pip the Troll is literally this troll that just chews a cigar, and like he's a really cool character. Mm-hmm. But another rumor was that he'd potentially be playing MODOK.
Okay, yeah, see, MODOK
makes
a little more sense. But I didn't know they had the rights to MODOK.
Yeah, I believe they do.
Okay,
So it's just a head
and
a voice, right?
Yeah.
Like, the Russo brothers, they brought Arnim Zola to life.
And they did that so well.
Everyone thought, like, what are they can't do this. But it was awesome how they did it.
Yeah.
So if anyone can put MODOK on the screen, it's the Russo brothers.
That's true.
Mm-hmm. But it's interesting they're going to cast, and like, apparently it's a good, solid role they're going to be casting for. So I'm interested to see. And this is going to start filming very soon, apparently within the next couple weeks, if not already.
Nice.
Did you guys hear the budget for this film?
Isn't it like $500 million?
I heard it was like $1 billion.
Well, I think that was for the
part 1 and 2.
Part 1 and 2.
Part 1 and 2.
I think that's all in, though.
That's insane.
It makes sense, though, right? I mean, if you think about it, look at the actors they have that they have to pay, and then also the fact that filming them around other scheduled things, you have to pay them more to keep them on set longer. Like, it kind of makes sense. And then we put into account marketing. Marketing in this thing is going to be double.
Yeah,
it's going to be huge.
I mean, marketing for Amazing
Spider-Man 2 was $200 million.
Yeah,
this is Avengers, so God knows how big that's going to be.
This is going to be the biggest film of our time. I think this will maybe even but surpass The Force Awakens in terms of like hype and stuff. This has been.
They've been building this for a long time, but there's a lot to be said about 10-year absence from Star Wars from the cinemas.
That's true.
With The Force Awakens.
Yeah,
and there's even I hate to say it, but Avatar. That could even still come back and
I think that franchise is dead.
I think so, but I mean, I don't know. We have to see where it plays out, because that's coming out next year as well, right?
I don't know.
Avatar.
Like, I have
keeps
no
getting
idea.
pushed back, but
pushing
they want to compete with Star Wars in the December.
No way.
I know.
Yeah.
No way
that's but the all-time selling movie, right?
Okay, Tim. If Avatar comes out in December and Star Wars comes out in December, if Avatar beats Star Wars, you have to do the podcast the following week, all in blue paint.
Done.
No, it definitely won't be Star Wars, but it'd put it dense. Like, you don't want to go up against Star Wars, and I don't think Star Wars wants to go up against that, because either way they're losing money, right?
Yeah.
So, I think Star Wars stands their ground.
They stay their ground, but you definitely lose some money if you're going against Avatar,
sure.
something that big.
But like, they're not dumb, the studios. Like, they're just
Exactly.
going to say, like, look, okay, we're going to go into January a few weeks here and have our own weekend.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Same January.
It's too far. Like, Avatar's waited too long to come back, right?
Yeah.
Like, to be honest with you, I saw that film once in theaters. I have it somewhere in here, 3D Blu-ray. I've never opened it.
It's in the package for me.
Yeah.
Still in the package.
Yeah, I think I've seen it once on Blu-ray. Yeah. I mean, this cast for Infinity War is insane. I mean, we got Guardians, we got like Iron Man, Captain America,
Spider-Man now too.
Spider-Man.
They're confirming people like Gamora, Drax, Rocket, like all these characters, right? And even with that large of a cast, they seem to be having scheduling issues, because they just announced, or reports are coming out that Benedict Cumberbatch is going to have a stand-in for the majority of the filming, and then they'll just flip around and do close-up shots.
Exactly.
So it's gonna be another actor kind of while they're running away and doing the thing. So there's speculation that his role might not be as big as we originally thought, because I think Doctor Strange should have a larger role, and maybe that larger role will come in whatever Part 2 or Avengers 4 is going to be, the continuation of this larger arc, this finishing arc for the Infinity War saga, right?
Yeah. Are you guys concerned about that? I mean, are you concerned about how large of a cast this is going to be? I mean, are we going to get like... I mean, if anyone can pull it off, it's the Russo brothers, it's Marvel. I mean, we all know that they have a pretty spotless record, but I mean, everyone's due for a hiccup here and there, right?
Yeah.
I don't think this is the film they're going to hiccup on.
You know,
like, I think that they have enough people in place to make sure this goes smoothly. Like, James Gunn's now attached as a producer on it, right?
Yeah.
To take care of the Guardians aspect of it. To make sure that those characters are going into the movie come out on the better end of it, right? So that he has a story to tell in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, or the eventuality that we're going to get of that, I would assume.
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot of these moving pieces, and they've been thinking about this for years.
It's been like engineering it for years and years now.
Yeah.
So it's going to be handled with a lot of care there. And the Russo brothers, they handle such a big ensemble so well. They've proven it over and over.
So we're probably doubling the size of Civil War as far as cast wise.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be pocket storytelling. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to see all of these rumored 64 plus characters they had to choose from in the first movie. I think there's going to be the Secret Avengers or Iron Man's Avengers coming into this, and they're going to have something completely different at the end. Like, I think we're going to get one of those massive battles, but it's not going to happen until Avengers 4 would be my guess. This movie is going to be Empire Strikes Back. It's going to end on a really down note with Thanos planting a flag in the middle of Washington, D.C. and saying, this planet's mine.
Yeah.
that'd be super cool.
Like, I think that's how it's going to end. But there's a lot to be said for the Russo brothers. What they've done, they've given us no reason to doubt them here, and I'm really looking forward to this.
Oh, absolutely. I hope they pull it off. If anyone can pull it off, it's them. If they do, hey, hats off to them. I want to see great movies. It's just, I'm 99% excited, 1% tepid, like dipping my toe in the cold water just because of how large. I don't think we've seen a film this large in cinematic history.
No.
Big undertaking.
And the thing is, like, then where do you go after?
Yeah.
Like when you get to Avengers 5, what do you do?
We'll see. Phase 4.
Yeah, Phase 4. Bring in Kang or Galactus. Yeah.
Speaking of assembling a crew, and to finish off our whole news episode here, we have the Defenders coming together this year. They're filming this right now, and they put out their first look at the Defenders assembling together here. There's a big Entertainment Weekly photo shoot. They showed a bunch of cool images, the behind the scenes, and this is looking really cool. Like, when I first saw the photo, I thought, okay, this looks a bit Photoshopped, but it looks, I guess it's more the background. They were on set together here. We've got Luke Cage in his yellow shirt, Jessica Jones. Iron Fist is looking like he's going to have a big part of this. I'm so much more excited for the Defenders right now than I was a week or two ago, just because of these images. Like, I think it's really cool that they're doing something on this scale within the Netflix series.
Yeah, it's great. Again, Netflix is something else that hasn't really failed. I mean, there's been other series I've liked more so than the other, but these guys are just great what they're doing on the small screen and building up this hype for our own television Avengers, the Defenders. I can't wait for this to premiere.
And it looks like Danny Rand is going to have a huge part about bringing the Defenders together. So there's this little behind the scenes footage of them doing this photo shoot, and the actor that plays Danny Rand had a really specific and a really interesting quote. He said, Danny Rand is the one that really knows what's going on. He knows the seriousness of the situation. He's really the one that assembles them. I added that last little bit. That's from a different quote, but apparently it's Iron Fist that brings this group together, which makes me think that the Iron Fist series is coming out in a couple months or in a month or so, is going to have a big pivotal moment where we do lay the groundwork for the Defenders. So I'm thinking a lot more mysticism in this universe with the Hand, with what we saw at the end of Daredevil season 2. Like, I think they're going to bring a lot of that into this, and that's where the big bad is going to come out. And they did show for the first time Sigourney Weaver's character, who apparently is a new creation, someone that's not from the comic books. Now, we've heard that before.
Yeah.
It's sort of just a little bit of a curveball, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's what comes out of this in the end. But I love that they're getting down this path. They're filming this right now, which is awesome.
Yeah,
can't wait. I hope we get a suit for Iron Fist. I'd like to see. I don't know how they're going to pull it off.
No, he does have the tattoo on his chest.
He does have the tattoo there. I mean, you could even get away with not doing the mask, but just give him kind of like the green Adidas zip up that he's rocking now. You can kind of go that route if you want to. But
I think if any series is going to do the costumes and do them well, it's going to be this Defender series. Like, I think if we're going to see everyone like Luke Cage in his yellow T-shirt and all this, like, it's going to be in this series. They're going to have had their own individual origin stories. They'll have the opportunity to build up to have suits, and now it's going to happen. Like, I think we're probably going to get Iron Fist in a similar fashion that we got Daredevil, is that the last episode or two is when he actually gets his costume. He's going to be in some makeshift costume going forward from the origin story from the first couple episodes, and then we'll eventually get that at the end. I think that's the way to go, because we've seen in the past, like, Wolverine, they've missed their opportunity to put him into a classic costume. And I really don't think they can miss that opportunity with these characters here.
No.
So for someone who's never seen any of the Netflix TV shows, I mean, I know I should watch them. Can I just jump into Defenders, or do I have to go back and
probably have to
slog
go back
through? Yeah.
Like, I don't really know. You could probably jump in and get it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying that you're going to get, like, the full experience of what these characters are, because you're going to have they've had their own individual seasons, and I think particularly with Iron Fist is probably one that you should watch, because I think it's going to lead directly into the Defenders. That would be my prediction, just based off some of these quotes and who I think the bad guy or the villain's going to be. So maybe Iron Fist. I
think Daredevil as well. I think Daredevil 1 and 2 is a must.
And I think they're just for pure enjoyment. Even the Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, like, they're awesome series. Like, if you have the opportunity to sit down and watch these before the Defenders comes out, like, I think it's a real joy, and, like, it's really binge worthy of watching, and you get a real appreciation for who these characters are. But can you jump into this? I'm gonna say yes-ish.
Okay.
Like, I wouldn't say that you're gonna get the most out of it, but you'll probably get enough of it that you understand what's going on in the series, and you'll get the characters. Like, they're really well done characters, and I think that will show through in a first time viewer of the Defenders. But you really be doing yourself a disservice not watching some of those original series, origin series, and that.
Especially because I think they even said, like, Misty Knight now is going to appear in the Defenders and a couple other characters.
Yeah, you have a lot of crossover characters as well. Yeah, you can have, like, a lot of these ties, like you see in the Marvel universe, these small characters that show up in each individual film, like your Coulsons and type thing that are showing up in your Netflix cinematic universe. So
okay, so how much time do I have to go back and watch all the shows?
Was it 4 seasons to get through 11 episodes each piece?
Yeah, they're about an hour each.
When does Defenders come out?
Probably in the fall.
Okay.
So Iron Fist comes out in February, and they're usually about 6 months apart, and somewhere in there the Punisher series will fall as well.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, okay.
So
Punisher. You gotta watch season 2 Daredevil.
Yeah, just start with Daredevil season 1 and season 2.
Yeah.
And then pick up Jessica Jones and Luke Cage after. Like, the Daredevil series are, I think, the best.
They're the best ones, in my opinion. Yeah,
I've heard that. Yeah,
season 2 is incredible. Like, what they do with the Punisher is, like, off the chains.
Yeah,
better than Dolph Lundgren.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah. Whereas I find the other two, like Jessica Jones and Luke Cage, they start off strong and then they kind of lose their way a little bit. At least that's why I've found.
Like, I don't think Daredevil suffers from the same thing that Luke Cage and Jessica Jones did. Is that they could have benefited from having 2 less episodes.
Exactly.
Like, they seem to stretch out some of the storylines and some of the arcs a bit longer than they needed to, just to fill that 10 or 11 episode, or even, I can't remember if it's 8 episode, that slot. They could have done with a few less episodes.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I bet you they're going to release the Defenders right when Justice League comes out, just to be dicks.
Yeah.
Didn't they drop Daredevil
before Batman?
No, there was rumors that they're going to drop them at the same time, but I think Daredevil dropped the weekend before, if I'm not right. I'm trying to think about when we did our reviews, because we had to, like, bang out a Daredevil review, and then the week after was Batman versus Harrelson, or vice versa.
Yeah. So I bet you they're going to release it sometime around that November time slot.
Yeah, they got to be careful they don't step on Thor's feet either, too, right?
Yes.
So there's a lot of tiptoeing around. It'd probably be September, because I think that's when Luke Cage dropped.
Okay.
So I think roughly 6 months apart, which makes sense.
Do you know what's crazy? I was looking at the comic book movie slot, and, like, March is packed now. Like, March used to be dead. But you look at March, you got Logan, you got, like, there's like 3 or 4, like, every week is like a huge movie coming out. I'm like, when did March become, like, super packed?
When July became
the
way it is now, where you can't make any money.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's insane. It's insane. I mean, pretty soon it's gonna be all year round, 52 weeks a year. We're gonna get 52 huge movies every week, and I'm gonna love it.
So as we close out our conversation here, we've kind of blown through a lot of news, and next week we do have the Logan trailer dropping, the final Logan trailer, which I'm going to watch. I know I've always said I don't watch trailers, and I broke this numerous times, so I don't even know why I say this anymore. But I'm going to watch it because, like I said, when we talked about our most anticipated, I'm still not fully convinced on this film. Like, I think it's going to be good. They cut an awesome trailer. They had some great music, but I need to see this trailer a little more.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
we're going to be talking about that next week. It's rumored to drop on Thursday. And that's presumably if it drops. If it doesn't drop, we're not talking about it.
Yeah.
I think they should go a different direction. I mean, you had Johnny Cash's Hurt. They need to do something completely different just to throw people off. Maybe like Aqua's Barbie Girl or something in the background.
Just some really odd.
Yeah, just to like confuse everyone. Like, what is this movie even about?
No, I'm looking forward to this movie. I can't wait to see the trailer. Hopefully we do get it Thursday. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's on my list. Made the 2017 list. The only thing I currently care about is the young X-23.
Of course. And we'll get into all that eventually. This March we'll be reviewing Logan as it drops, the weekend of release review. If you guys like to comment on anything we talked about, like what are you guys enjoying right now in the nerd world as far as comic books, movies, TV? Are you looking forward to the Defenders? What is your comic book pick of the week? You can always grab us at thenerdrm@gmail.com. Hit us up on Twitter at #EnterTheNerdRoom, or catch our Twitter handles are at the end of the episode. You can always comment on our YouTube page as well. All right, guys. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure talking all the news. I really enjoyed that comic book section. We need to do more of that.
Yeah.
Pick of the week.
I really like the comic books. You know, I kind of got away from them for a little bit. I was so far behind, and I've slowly, you know, caught up, and it's nice. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I cut down my list. I was like 10, 12. Like I was going crazy, and I was like, Sunjay, what are you doing? You're not even reading half these, so I'm cut down to 6 now.
There you go.
Yeah.
6.
I have to trim some of the fat.
Yeah.
Yep.
So until next week, for the Nerd Room, I'm Tim.
I'm Troy.
And thank you. Oops, sorry.
Whoa! I know where I stand now.
That was a habit. I'm Tim.
No, I'm not going to say it anymore now. You already hurt my feelings, Tim.
All right. Until next time, I'm Sunjay.
And thank you for entering the Nerd Room.
This has been a Nerd Room podcast production. You can find our hosts, Tim and Troy, on Twitter at TheNerdRM and Troy TheBoy87. Don't forget to subscribe to the Nerd Room on iTunes, Facebook, and YouTube. Just search the Nerd Room Podcast. Be sure to head over to StarWarsCommonwealth.com to find other podcasts on the Star Wars Commonwealth Podcast Network, including Talk Star Wars, Generation X-Wing, Tumbling Saber, Rogue Squadron Podcast, and the Skyhopper Podcast. Follow the Star Wars Commonwealth on Twitter at SW Commonwealth and take your first steps into a larger world.